On August 4th, Proposition 8 was struck down by one Judge Walker. The whole story is that California had once legalized same-sex marriage. And they have certain groups of people who came in and said, no, we don't like this, so they instituted what was called Proposition 8. And then there was like a big culture war concerning how exactly Proposition 8 was being broadcast to the people. And after the voter initiative of Proposition 8 was passed 52 to 48, it was again countered, proclaiming that there was a lot of religious and moral bias towards Proposition 8. And it was using a lot of underhanded tactics in order to get the voters for their side. Now, despite the fact that Proposition 8 has already been struck down, it seems that some people with the gay and lesbian community don't seem to understand how important this is. Some of them have just taken it as like, oh, well, that's happening in California, so that's not really a big deal to me here in a state that's not California. I don't believe that to be true. I believe this is an important step for all of us, because already right now that same trial is being appealed, and it's going to be taken to a higher court, to the Supreme Court, where it's now going to be looked at on a national level. And we're going to have this argument all over again. However, the whole Proposition 8 trial was how it got started. It's kind of like dropping a pebble in a pond. It's going to have a ripple effect throughout the entire pond. What I have here are notes concerning the trial, and I'm going to try to go over in moderate detail, like the big major points of this, and really show you, the viewers, how just pathetically stupid the entire Proposition 8 campaign has been in this. And just a warning, there will be some foul language, because some of the people in here just piss me off that much. Let's see here. Proposition 8 trial, day 4. I'll make this fairly brief. The plaintiffs brought up two different witnesses. The first was economist Edmund Egon, who's claiming that continuing same-sex marriage would help in a lot of different aspects of the economy, not just with an influx of money concerning affairs of marriage, but also it would help decrease wasteful spending in a lot of avenues, such as like public health costs for mental health, as well as like health insurance, stuff like that. Another plaintiff that they had during the same day was Professor Ilian Meyer, who apparently done 20 years of research in minority stress. He claimed that due to like certain government forms that have, particularly an area where you end up marked whether you're married, single, divorced, widowed, and the fact that gays and lesbians had for a certain period of time not been allowed to get married, or even before gay marriage took into effect in California, the very fact that they're not able to evokes a certain amount of stress that's really only felt by a minority of people that are being targeted. That's about it for that. And yet, the only thing that the Proposition 8 people had to counter with these witnesses is that all the witnesses that the plaintiffs brought up were supporters of gay rights. Really, that's the only thing they had to counter for this entire day. And I'm thinking to myself, really? What a shocker witnesses that the plaintiffs are bringing up that are talking about this issue for gay marriage in a positive aspect, mind you, are actually gay rights supporters. Wow! Who could have not seen this one coming? I mean, really? That's the best you can do, Cooper? Cooper, by the way, is the lawyer for the Proposition 8 side, for those of you who haven't been paying attention. But I'll get more on all that later. The next day, the trial resumes, and they bring up one William Tam to the stand. And for anyone who is familiar with William Tam and his testimony, you know that I'm going to have a lot of fun with this one. Alright, William Tam takes a stand. William Hochsheen William Tam, San Francisco, testified on Thursday as a hostile plaintiff's witness to prove that the bias toward the gay field at 2008 campaign of Proposition 8. Tam was one of the 5 people who signed on an official proponent for the ban whose names appeared alongside the ballot argument for Proposition 8, acknowledged that he subscribed to beliefs of an alleged link between homosexuality and pedophilia. This is going to be a reoccurring theme. Link between homosexuality and pedophilia posted on the internet by a Chinese-American Christian group for which he serves as a secretary. Do you believe that homosexuals are 12 times more likely to molest children? Attorney David Boies asked. Yeah, based on different literature that I have read, Tam replied. Earlier in the trial, a Cambridge University professor testified that there is no evidence to suggest that gays are more likely to molest children than heterosexuals. Boies pressed Tam to cite books, articles, or authors that he had read to substantiate his views, but Tam said he could not remember specifics. It gets a lot worse than that, people. Under questioning by Boies, Tam also said that he agreed with the statement of the website of the Chinese-American Christian group that said if same-sex marriage is treated as a civil right, so would pedophilia, polygamy, and incest. And that is what you were telling people and encouraging them to vote for Proposition 8, Boies asked. Yes, Tam replied. Tam said that he drew the conclusion after reading an internet article that claimed incest and polygamy were legal in the Netherlands, a country where same-sex marriage became legal in 2001. Boies asked, you were saying here that same-sex marriage was legalized. Yeah, after same-sex marriage was legalized, the Netherlands legalized incest and polygamy? Tam replies, yeah, look at the date. Polygamy happened afterwards. Who told you that? Where did you get that idea? Boies asked incredulously. And I love Tam's response to this. He replies, it's the internet. Another person in the organization found it and showed me it. I looked at the document and I thought it was true. Yes, because as we all know, everything that can ever be found on the internet, no matter what site, it's automatically true. Isn't that right, people? We all know this. Here's a few apparently unknown facts to William Tam. Polygamy is not legal in the Netherlands. But the idea that it is became an urban myth in 2005 when a man and 2 women signed a private cohabitation contract while wearing wedding garb. Now, somehow I believe that a cohabitation contract is going to differ than that of a marriage contract. Proposition 8 people don't seem to agree with that idea, as I'm going to get to later, but yeah, just to rehash all that, William Tam, when you start making these claims that homosexuals are 12 times more likely to molest children, and yet you don't bring any proof, you don't bring any sort of citations, that kind of makes you retarded. Yeah. And on top of this, you're bringing more lies into this case. You're proclaiming that the Netherlands have legalized polygamy and incest, when that's obviously not true. All you had to do was do actual research on any of this information. I mean, proper research. Not some lame-ass, false internet website that, one of your Chinese-American Christian Coalition people have given you. Which kind of makes me believe that the rest of your coalition, Mr. Tam, is just as retarded as you are. If provided that all of them are believing this shit. Let's see here. Shortly after Tam left the witness stand, Boyd asked if he'd spoken with his lawyer during a 5-minute break in his testimony. Tam said that he had. This is another quote from William Tam here. I said I felt like naughty boy being put in front of a classroom and being mocked at. Yeah. William Tam, when you start bringing up wild accusations and you have no proof and no citations for them, and then after that you claim outright lies in your case, yeah, you deserve to be mocked at. Because you're fucking retarded. And it just gets a little bit better here. Others involved in promoting Proposition 8 have tried to distance themselves from Tam during a news conference outside of court. Lawyer Andy Pugno, a lawyer from the coalition of religious and conservative groups that backed the measure, said that Tam had next to nothing to do with the campaign. Andy Pugno, you're a liar. That's a bold-faced lie, because I have right here in the article that Tam was one of the 5 people who signed on as official proponents for the ban, and their names appeared right next to others. And Tam himself had claimed that he was trying to tell people that if same-sex marriage is treated as a civil right, so would pedophilia, polygamy, and incest. He testified in court that he was telling people this in order to tell them to vote yes on Proposition 8. So, Andy Pugno, Mr. Lawyer Guy, and trying to claim that William Tam had nothing to do with Proposition 8 at all? You're a fucking liar.